What is going on, Knights of Vex? Today we have to talk about the brand new legendary character for Galaxy of Heroes, Cassian and/or Undercover. We finally were able to do some squad arena testing to see how he's going to shape the meta and to see if he is going to be viable even at a lower star count compared to a higher star count. So we did a bunch of testing today on stream, and I want to showcase all of it in a video format for you guys, all summed up. Lots of positives, lots of negatives. We're going to talk about it all today. First off, I want to give a big shout out to my shard mates Banja, Boba, and Patley for helping me with the testing. You guys are awesome. Very hard to coordinate with other shard mates, and you guys made it a lot easier for today. So big shout out to you guys. To talk about the cons first with this team really quickly. Number one, Relic Delta. Obviously, we know Relic Delta's been in the game for a while. It needed to happen for the overall health of the game. I know we're going to get into it. You guys could talk about that and a separate thing about Relic Delta being bad. It's here to stay. We got to be positive about it. We have to work around it. So the con to the low star count, because we're talking about 5-star gameplay here, not 7-star. So all my testing was 5-star. Relic Delta is impacting these matchups 100%. He seems to have hard counters. That's the negative. The positives to the gameplay. He's showing promising stuff against counters in Squad Arena with his GAC Omicrons turned off. So the gameplay today, 0 GAC Omicrons. He's only going to get stronger in that game mode. So the fact that he's beating some Galactic Legends already is massive. Only going to get easier. The next thing is that the Focus Datacron was not enabled in this battle. The positive to this is that early, mid, or late game, that Focus Datacron is accessible to lower star count Cassian squads and high star Cassian squads. It's not locked behind the Relic level. So if you guys have Cassian in your roster, highly recommend once the Conquest starts, get to materials to work on his Focus Datacron. It's going to amplify him even more. Another negative that I want to showcase is that it seems like Vel and Cinta are completely useless at the lower star count. I had better luck swapping them out for like Kyle Katarn and Captain Rex. Now, this could just be a lower star count problem, or just a Grand Arena not being active, Omicron not being active problem as well. But I'm going to showcase all the battles. So what we're going to do is head into the gameplay and show you the promising stuff that he is doing already. First thing, I'm going to play this on 1.5 speed. He is beating Jabba with ease. This is a Relic 9, Relic 8 Jabba squad with a Chrysanthemum Datacron. It is active. It is here. What I am using in this video is the light side evade level 3 with the Rebel 100% crit avoidance 6. I had no focus Datacron attached, so the 7 and 8 were disabled for the Datacron. Only the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's it. I have them at Relic 4. Luthen is my fastest character, I believe, in this battle. Either him or Clea. Most part, they're low. Relic 4, that's it. Clea, I got the 6-star. She's Relic 5. It's 1 Relic level. That's a full-blown Jabba squad. He seems to be handling Jabba very easily. So this is impressive in Squad Arena. You know, you might do it on 2x speed because this is going to take a while. We'll do it on 2x speed, but you're going to see here. Vel, obviously, she's getting hit pretty hard. The crit avoidance is nice. I'm trying to figure out the battle, as we can see. I think you want to start out with Undermine. That's always the most important part. They benefit a lot from Undermine. And as you can see, Cassian survived an AoE. When he has Vulnerable, he can get crit. That's a massive problemo. So you want to make sure, even at low star count, he's taking 1 damage. It doesn't matter. But when he gets Vulnerable, he can get crit. That's what you don't want. So over here, they're trying to go for him, but they're dealing 1 damage because they cannot crit him. All that Undermine is giving him crit avoidance. So the death mark on Cinta here is actually nice, but not essential. You don't need them in the squad. But we are doing some crazy, crazy work here. This is a full-blown Jabba squad. And this is the first Galactic Legend I felt comfortable with beating without a problem. The thing is, it takes a long time because I feel like the team is lacking a serious amount of damage. Like Clea, obviously I have modded for crit damage on her triangle and offense on her cross. But she's modded for speed. But she's not doing a whole lot of damage. The death mark there was clutch from Cinta. So I do appreciate her doing that. But she wasn't needed for the other battles. Get rid of Leia very, very easily. Luthen is super clutch in this battle. He's giving your team a bunch of buffs. His spawn is dealing massive amounts of damage. It is no joke. So over here in Grand Arena, you're going to be taking less damage from thermals because of the leadership Omicron. You're also going to be immune to instant defeats until one of your allies die. Pretty sure that's how it reads. So over here, this battle does take a little bit of time. He ends up getting to his ultimate, but he only eats the spawn. Obviously, he could eat whoever he wants, but we get to the point in the battle where whoever he ate, we were going to be absolutely fine. Got a little bit good RNG there. In Grand Arena, it's going to be a lot different. So over here, I'm throwing it. I don't want to take out my opponent because I want to do a bunch more testing. But over here, that's my Datacron that I was working with. I had 148% defense just for some survivability. So the good thing is that you could use some degree of Datacrons that aren't focused Datacrons in this team in the meantime. But we're going to have to really see how this team shapes out or shapes up in Grand Arena. And so over there, you can see I clearly win. Now, over here, I'm talking about Lord Vader. And we wanted to do some non-Datacron testing because it just seemed like it was a little tough to do testing with it without his focused Datacron. So we did 0 Datacron testing. This is a Lord Vader squad. I think they're all Relic 9 or some are Relic 8. I swapped out Cinta with Vel because they were dying way too fast. I have a Relic 7 Kyle and Relic 7 Captain Rex. They seem to be very good substitutes for those characters if they're low star count. I don't know if it's going to affect a lot in Grand Arena. You might want to keep the other characters. But all I know is that Relic Delta is not impacting me as much. The Undermine on the whole enemy team is super helpful here. We're gaining massive, massive buffs. The one thing about this battle is it took so freaking long. And I probably was taking too much time reading abilities. But I think that Cassian will be able to beat Lord Vader in a Grand Arena standpoint. Which is very nice for some players. Because you don't want to use your Bane. You don't want to use your Leia. This gives you another option, and this is low star count. This is obviously in Squad Arena, so the Scorch Omicron is turned off, but I don't think it's going to really matter because we're missing a ton of Omicrons ourselves. We're missing Luton Omicrons, we're missing Cassian Omicrons, and even Captain Rex has one, even though it's not in play for this. But as you can see, I'm trying to undermine as many targets as possible. I want to get rid of this guy's Clone Trooper first because his Order 66 massive one-shot is not a fun time. But Kyle does great things for this team. He's dealing massive damage. He's got health and protection recovery. Has a nice AoE force influence. It is very, very nice. So I'm a big fan of Kyle on this team. Look at the damage. Again, no Datacrons. I know they don't have any Datacrons, but neither do I. This is a Galactic Legend team. So this is impressive. This is impressive. The only issue is that if Cassian gets crit, he's going to have a really hard time because of the lower star count. So when he attacks out of turn, when he's assisting, he gets vulnerable. It's going to be an issue. Massive, massive issue. So over here, you're going to see there's a minute 20 on the clock yet left, and I'm trying my best to get him down. He is tanky. But another thing that's disappointing is Cassian's damage on his second ability is a lot lower than I thought it was going to be. When you go on SWGOH.gg, it's showing damage in like the millions and billions. So a little confused at how that's working or how that's supposed to be working. But we're going to have to see. I throw it on full auto because I'm trying to get through him. The heal immunity on Luton is very nice. So we're moving fast. That was a 50k crit. Wish it was higher. We're looking for like the 100ks. We're looking for the millions. So there we go. I kill him, and I don't end up ending the battle because I don't want to knock down my shardmate. But we would have done it. There was 7 seconds left on the clock. 7 seconds left. So over here, Balon, no focus Datacron. When the focus Datacron was turned on, wasn't even close. Not even close. So we're doing non-Datacron gameplay at the moment, just to make it an even playing field, just to see what it's like without the overpowered Datacron. And over here, we're doing some pretty good stuff because we're very, very fast. My Luton is at like 375 speed or something like that. Captain Rex is doing good stuff. The cool thing about this is that we are pulling characters from teams that are no longer going to be needed. Like, obviously, Captain Rex is very good plug and play, can be used in Phoenix, can be used at a Leia squad, but it's not always needed. Like, you're not always using Leia with Captain Rex, and you're not using Phoenix every Grand Arena. So I feel like pulling Kyle from Saw and Luton, which is going to be happening anyway, is not a bad thing, and adding Captain Rex in here is also very nice. Now, we were doing some testing with the Chirrut level 9. Doesn't get as many heal over times as a Saw lead, so I'm not going to say it's going to be as strong with without Saw in the leadership spot. But over here, seem to be controlling the battle pretty well. Got rid of Shin right away. Obviously, the taunt from Balon is pretty annoying. I think the team is just lacking some damage. Some serious, serious damage. I don't like how the team is missing stuns as well. No stuns on the team. Unless you're going to use Drogon, which, when you include Drogon in the squad, it really changes them up to be crazy. But Drogon is needed for Leia. So I didn't want to showcase any Drogon gameplay because no one is going to be using Drogon with Cassian. Always going to be used with Leia. That's literally like her mini lifter unit. So this battle is going fine. In Grand Arena, with his Omicrons turned on and Hondo's Omicrons, who knows? But I like that we get the damage immunity on the second special with the Omicron. Makes it a lot easier. So these battles just take a while. As you can see, we're already at the 120 mark and just taking its time. Like really, really long. So the damage is just simply not there. But we do end up, that's 100k. So that's the highest I've ever seen it go. And every time they have Undermine, we're lowering their max health. So this might be one of those teams that just needs to stall the battle as much as you can. Very, very annoying. Now, I'm going to start to showcase the battles where we lose. Those were the positives. Now we're going to show where we lose. Kenobi. We attack out of turn. We assist way too much. And that's granting protection up for the whole team. Couldn't really do much. Couldn't stop that insta-kill in Grand Arena. It's going to be different. But it's just very challenging. You want to try to land a death mark, but once he gets that protection up from Kenobi's ultimate, you're not landing anything. And he's cleansing all the debuffs. It's very, very difficult. So I'm just going to show you this battle and how poorly it goes. Obviously, he has ability block, but once Kenobi gets the ultimate, it's gone. So the death mark wasn't going to come into play. I don't have any damage on this team to do much. So as you can see here, literally nothing. They are targeting the spawn, which is nice, but your two sides cannot survive a big hit from Cat. It's simply not going to happen. So, I don't know. If you guys been testing against him or with him, he's definitely not Maul. I can tell you that. He's not Spider Maul, but Stranger. So this one was a very bad one. Wanted to showcase the bad. Well, I am going to have them end the battle. But, yeah, Kenobi doesn't seem to be looking good in Squad Arena. Maybe in Grand Arena, it'll be different. Now, next up, we're going to show you a different battle. This is going to be against Power King Hondo, no Datacron. Yeah, not very good. That's all I have to say. You don't have any damage to get through Vayne. You die on a single AoE. You're tickling him. Absolutely tickling him. This team is like seriously missing damage. And I don't know if it has to do with the low star count or VIP being weird and Cassian's variant Sky not hitting as hard. VIP gets taken off very fast. I don't know. A little disappointing. We were able to get rid of Brutus, but without an anti-revive, he's just going to come back. So this might not be a Galactic Legend killing team for the most part. Maybe it's meant to kill a couple of Galactic Legends. Always seem to be Jabba and Lord Vader seem to be the big prime targets for counters for some reason. But over here, you're going to see it just, he just dies in one shot. He gets crit. Even with all the Undermine on the field. It's very annoying. But yeah. The team is lacking a serious amount of damage. Very, very annoying. Now, next up, Stranger Maul. We wanted to see this. I think the biggest problem for this, obviously, is Relic Delta, but Barris. Barris is constantly healing, and with as low as the damage numbers are on this team, you cannot out-damage her healing. So I tried my best. Cinta and Vel were dying on the first opening play. Nothing I could do. So Cassian over here has vulnerable. I gotta be careful. Like, it has potential. Like, you see how we're doing damage, but the fact that they're healing from Barris's anti-crit is tough. And obviously the locked mark, I can't. The only way you can ignore taunt is when Clea does her second ability to an ally. They are able to ignore taunt. So you have to pick and choose the correct ally to do it. I was just going to try and see if Kyle was going to be the way to go. He just simply didn't have enough damage to get the one shot. I like to put the VIP on Clea and Luthen, but a little disappointing. A little disappointing. That's all I have to say. But it looks like it's going okay at the moment. I think their Omicrons are going to destroy us. In a Grand Arena standpoint, I think they're going to murk us. It's not even going to be close. So, super unfortunate. See the damage? It's pitiful. Absolutely nothing. Obviously, there's a huge delta gap, and then we just get exploded. But Cassian is surviving an ultimate from Starkiller because he's not getting crit, which is kind of cool. It's good to know. Kind of want to see how this is going to look at a higher star count or even the focus datacron. That's when we're really going to start to understand how he's going to perform until we are able to farm his shards, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And there you go. He just dies. Kylo. Oh my god, this is a horrible battle. Look at that. They start out with advantage, so all that crit avoid that you're supposed to get does nothing. This was not even close. It doesn't even have Darkseid Ray on the field. And I was using a Kyle Katarn level 6 or level 9 with the Mercenary Stun. Did absolutely jack. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Kylo hard counter. Now, the last thing I want to show. before we end the video is gameplay of Cassian on defense in Squad Arena with part of his focus datacron turned on, up to the Clea part. So this is a 7-star variant, and they have the Clea, so she's going to be giving out a lot of blind. I was playing around with Queen Amidala, because I like Queen, in a Grand Arena standpoint, has a locked vulnerable debuff on her second, or her first special, on her AoE. I think that Queen Amidala is going to be able to beat this team in a Grand Arena standpoint. Gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see, but I highly like on that ability there, they would be vulnerable on the whole team. And then Padawan Obi-Wan can come in, do an AoE, and absolutely destroy them. The blind here is annoying, and I was looking at over the kit just to see. Wasn't maxed out, but it was present. This is a Relic 8 Cassian. Almost get rid of him in an AoE. Echo here is very nice for the days. But this team is just lacking a serious amount of damage. It's crazy. I don't know if there's something we're missing, or if it's just you're not going to get anything done in a Squad Arena, standpoint, only Grand Arena. That might be the case for this character. So the decoy ends up going down, but comes right back up. Can't assist when you have Undermine, which I was trying to look for in the kit. I didn't realize that until after. So if you have Undermine, you cannot assist. But just like that, you kill him with an AoE, and I didn't end the rest of the battle. So that is going to wrap up my initial gameplay. Didn't test against Ahsoka Ezra. Would not have been close. I tried against certain Rays. Rey on a single ultimate wiped out my entire team. So Rey wasn't looking good. I was facing a Rey with Ben, General Kenobi, and Barriss with Cal. You're lacking damage. So going to be tough. But we have a Grand Arena round to test with, and hopefully we can find some interesting stuff for Cassian throughout the testing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and this early gameplay gives you some insight to what he's going to look like pre-Grand Arena. If you guys don't feel comfortable with the Omicron application yet, wait for the content creators to test against it just to see if they're worth it. So if you guys did enjoy this gameplay and found it useful, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. May the Force be with you all. Peace.